Is anyone here? What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
A blank screen. Lama, here we are.
Great Friday evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Supernatural Confessions family. It is great to be back here live tonight with my co-host. On your screen on my left is the woman from Zimbabwe, Sonia Kurana, finally back with her white headphones. And on my right, on the right of the screen, it is the apex predator from down under, Joseph D. Kota, or JDC as we call him. Our fourth guy, Cuckoo Bird Kuching Boy, unfortunately was supposed to be here today, but alas, he has to work again. So he couldn't make it. But maybe you might find him on the chat group later, the comment section.
I wonder if he's trying to avoid me, you know? I just feel like he's trying to avoid me.
You mean your bromance thing, we need to work on that a bit, lah.
I haven't been spending a lot of time with him, so I think it's time to, just like rekindle relationship.
That's right. Say something nice,
Say something nice about compliment him and do all these things. Kim, I think that you're a very handsome and beautiful man.
We can all learn from that, can't we?
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, Sonia, what have you been up to? You have been like around the freaking world, and I don't remember this background. This is not a background that I've noticed. Which part of the world are you at today?
Oh, I'm in Singapore, actually. This is just another part of the house. And yeah, I'm not outside. It's a bit too noisy outside. Everyone's home. So I'm in the abstinence room. What?
Okay, abstinence room. Very nice. And you have some lore to share with us tonight. We got a 1.5 hour shows, a couple of confessions, and you just came back from Finland, I think, and a few other places.
Yes.
Surely you must have some ghost stories to share.
Ghost stories, not so much, but there's some of these beliefs, right? Deeply rooted beliefs. Those are a few things that are interesting to share. But yes, I have been traveling back to back, and this is the first time. I'm so excited that I'm logging in on my laptop using all my regular equipment. I have not done this since before I left for Africa, and that was in July. So it's great. It's great to be back. Not so great that my laptop was completely flat. All my gadgets and gizmos untouched for that long, but very good to be back. Good to see everyone. And I said hi in the comment section. A few new names.
Yeah, please read out the names, please.
Yes.
Say hello to our community.
Karina said hi, hello. It's going to be Deepavali very soon. So did some henna.
31st? Is
on the 24th. So on the 24th.
Oh, it's the 24th.
Yes. So on the 20th. Oops, I'm so sorry. That's me.
See lah, long time never come online. That's why all.
Yes, I'm usually calling in from some remote location somewhere, using my handphone, struggling to get connected, and so many times. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that doesn't happen tonight.
I met up with Matt yesterday, Matt Vercat from On Fringe. We had a chat about 2023 next year, what we're going to do with the show. And I would invite everyone from the Supernatural Confessions community, if you have the time and the interest and you want to form like a focus group, you want to give us your point of view, I would love to set up something and invite you guys down to have that chat. But what I want to get at was, today, without Kim, it seems to be I'm outnumbered 2-1 on the rational team versus the Hantu team. But Matt says something very nice yesterday. He was like, there's the Hantu team versus the rational team. And also, it seems that Sonia is now going towards the Hantu team. There is hope yet. There's hope. Let's see how today pans out.
Matt. Well, it could be prophetic. We don't know, but let's see. Let's find out.
Let's see.
No, we will not be seeing. We will not be finding out. You're staying exactly where you are, Sonia. You're not going anywhere. You can't. No.
Looks down at the shackles on my feet.
Exactly. Please.
Anyway, if you guys would just join us, welcome to Supernatural Confessions Friday Night Live. This is the third last episode for 2022. We will take a downtime break and come back in 2023. Hopefully with new things that you like. We'll experiment with new ideas. I got new programs in mind with all the good comments coming in. Also, if you are in Singapore right now and you're going to be free on the 21st of October, that is next Friday. So if you're joining us every Friday, I'm guessing that you should be in Singapore and you should be free, because everybody, all your hosts, Kim from Kuching is going to be in Singapore. JDC from Perth is going to be in Singapore. Sonia from Sembawang is going to be in Singapore. Aljunied.
Sembawang is in Singapore.
You have Jonathan, you have Bill, you have Blurcock Bill. I'm going to call him that. He's blur half the time. And you have Matt. You have Ivan from the Mods. You have Silver Stars, the band who wrote the song that go, Miss B. That's the band. You see them performing live, full set for you next Friday. And as with every October, Nocturne Noir has been so kind to us. They've always been sponsoring us. This year is no different. You see us drinking Nocturne Noir every year. Some years we drink more than we should. But this year, 21st, we are going to let you guys drink Nocturne Noir. So for you guys who bought the tickets coming down, first drink on the house on us, you get 2 packs of Nocturne Noir in a highball drink. And this drink was created by a mixologist. Also, if you want to get your shots up, you want to get beer that night, there's also going to be drinks being catered for you guys. My only problem is I have not thought about mixers and non-alcoholic drinks. So I'll get to that in a bit. I got all the alcohol prepared. I got all the space prepared. 21st, please come on down. I'll put the link in the comment section. Doors open at 5. We'll be there before that probably. 5:30 is where you guys get to come in, mingle, drink, chit-chat, hang out with us. 7 o'clock, Silver Stars will be playing a 30-minute set. Songs that you have heard on the Fringe intro, songs that you have heard from Ghost Mortem intro, songs, of course, you've heard on Friday Night Live intro. They'll be playing all those songs and a lot more, because Silver Stars, you guys may not know, is Singapore's horror billy band. And we are proud to have them as a partner of Supernatural Confessions. 7:30, your 4 favorite hosts will take the seat, and we will be running Friday Night live in front of live audience.
Wow.
Live.
Wow. And it's already that time of the, like, we can say next week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
it's next week.
Yeah.
That's how close
in
it is.
exactly a week's time. Yes, next Friday.
Yeah.
But
so if you haven't bought your tickets, buy it.
Yeah,
please.
please do. We are all very fair. Like we always say, we are not the kind of people who draw lines and says, "Oh, you got to be there, or you're not going to enjoy our live show." No. We'll still be streaming the live show. So if you can't come down, no time. The ticket is a little bit too pricey for you, but you still want to join us, we will be streaming live. The only difference is you just can't be sitting there drinking of course, right? You're going to be physically there. Yeah. But yeah, you can come on down for the live experience, or still join us watching live on Supernatural Confessions, YouTube or Facebook.
And put it this way, right? If you're there live and you don't like Kim's jokes, you can always throw something at him. But you can't, throwing something at your screen doesn't have the same, doesn't have the same feeling.
Not the same effect.
Yeah,
it does not have the same effect.
Raw on the text message, right? This time you can stand up there in the crowd and raw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Sunil saying, where's the link? Link for the tickets, I suppose. Is the link being shared?
Yeah, I'm gonna send an. Okay, on YouTube, it's gonna be there now. And on Facebook, I'm gonna pin it.
Shaz, you asked a few people going, what drink is Joe drinking?
Yeah, what
and
are you
Shaz
having?
asked, why your glass so pretty, Joe? My glass is not as pretty as Joe Kim Tin.
Oh,
I just want to say that. But I'm drinking like a soda, a bit of like a like a Yakult kind of thing, and a bit of soju. That's my usual drink, man. It just happens that every single drink that I seem to choose, it doesn't have manly colors. Do you know what I mean? Look, I'm not the one to genderize color, like pink for female, blue for male. Yeah,
if you are so manly, would it even matter?
No, but it matters to the people who are watching. So that's why I commented.
Because if
and-
he doesn't drink
yeah.
this drink, right, he drinks like a whiskey or a beer. In fact, he may be too intimidating for our audience. So he has to, like soften his bad boy image with a pussy
Eugene,
drink.
you have actually hit the nail on the head. I think that well done, bro. But yeah, I don't know who this Shaz person is. Sometimes she just seems to come online and ask these really weird questions. So one of those
Sounds
people.
familiar.
It does sound a little bit familiar.
A little
but,
bit, yeah.
Shall we say hello to the people who have been here? Jillian Fernandez, June Pei Su, Will Maher, Jill Chong, One, Camellia 701.
What?
What?
Blue One, BIBIBABIBU1. Pronounce that?
Bobby Blue, baby. Sorry, say it again. Say it again.
BIBABIBU1.
So
Bobby Blue one.
I need to see that.
KK Heng.
And then,
We have Imagine Dragons. Imagine Lions.
ooh, imagine. And over on Facebook, there's so many new
go.
names I don't recognize. Karina Venard, Carlos Cole, of course. He's Pinky Joe. I think you have to wear a pink shirt next time to complement your drink. Sunil, of course.
I've got one.
Neil Ignatius Lopez. I've never seen that name. Hello, welcome. Or is it just me that I've never noticed? Is it me?
It's pretty. Most things it's probably just you,
What?
Sonia. Just saying, it's probably just you.
Okay, what do we have? What do we have for us today, Joe? I know you're not doing housekeeping.
Bibi Bobby Boo one. There we go. Bibi Bobby Boo one.
I think it's Bibi Bobby Boo. You gotta say with like
I think
the
that's it.
whole Android sound. Bibi Bobby Boo.
Okay. Bibi Bobby Boo one. Cool.
I hope we got your name right. K Jin Clark says. I think Clark says is probably new, Sonia? Probably in the
Yeah, that's so many new names, but welcome. Always happy to see new names.
Okay. All right. Joe got my name right. Okay. I mangled it totally. Okay, so it's good to be back.
Oh,
Joe,
look,
you wanna
Sunil
take
just
it?
said he's registered. It's done. That's great. Another person that we're going to meet on Friday. Everybody else, Carlos said support. Yes, please. No, but he's supporting you wearing pink. So Joe, there's going to be a
Thank you.
petition.
Okay, so
Okay,
next week,
next week,
I may wear
21st.
pink.
On the live show, you wear pink.
I'm gonna wear pink. I got the exact shirt for that, so don't worry. Very manly.
Who's got the joke? Kim's not here with the joke, so either one of you.
Then you lah, Sonia. Since you're
I-
back, right?
I don't tell jokes. I'm the most literal person there is.
Tell us a literal joke.
I can't even do that. I mean, I can tell you a science fact about the Aurora Borealis. How's that?
To be really honest, I kind of like Kim's jokes the most, especially his elevator jokes.
I'm googling this shit. 68 dirty adult dirty jokes. So racy. You want to cover?
No. I'm serious. I enjoy Kim's elevator jokes because they kind of work on so many different levels.
Oh, I got that one.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I got a joke. This is from. I had to Google this. Okay, guys.
What did the police officer say to his belly button?
You are under my breast.
You're under my vest. Under my. You just spoilt it. You just made it dirty, and you just spoilt it. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Okay. Okay. Two men broke into a drugstore and stole all the Viagra. The police put out an alert to be on the lookout for two hardened criminals.
Oh, I feel that in my waters. I feel that in my. Look at Sonia's face.
Clap lah. I don't know.
Sonia, do you need this to explain this to you?
I got it, but it just, Next one.
It sounds like a bit of a flaccid joke, so let's just.
Give it to me. Give it to me, she yelled. I'm so wet. Give it to me now. She could scream all she wanted, but I was keeping the umbrella.
Huh?
I think we should just go on to the confessions.
Yeah, let's just do that, please. Thank you very much.
All right. Over to you, JDC. You have an anecdote for us. What you read about something on the haunting?
So so I've told you guys, right? I'm traveling a lot for my work now. So I travel about a 3 hour round trip every day. So an hour and a half to work, an hour and a half back, right? What I like to do is to listen to audiobooks. So I chuck my phone onto my car and I listen to as many audiobooks as I can. I'm listening to one on what is called the Hanover Haunting in the United States. I don't think it's Canada. I think it's United States. So I'm not going to give away the story, but one little thing that really piqued my interest was that this lady received she was in the house where the hauntings been occurring. She received a phone call. Oh, did Eugene just go?
Yes.
Okay.
Just
Anyway,
dropped.
so he received a phone call. He received a phone call from her neighbor, and the neighbor's saying, "Mate, you got to come out and have a look at this." So she's going, "What's happening?" She said, "I can't explain to you. You need to come out and have a look at this." Right.
Mm.
So she grabbed her husband, and they both go out, and they saw their lawn carpeted with insects of different kinds. Right. And then when they go out and they stood in the middle of the lawn, they're going, "What is happening?" They chanced to look to the sky, and they saw locusts flying like in a circle around the house.
Above.
Yeah, it was around the house, and there was something about a bird came by, grabbed one of the locusts, and that disturbed the swarm, and the swarm slowly kind of just lifted up into the sky. So here's my thing, right? I know that different animals and even certain insects can rely on the Earth's geomagnetic field, right?
Exactly.
In order to orient themselves, whether to fly south, fly north. Could it be, right? Like, I've always been a bit skeptical about the whole EMF stuff, right? But I'm wondering if they're, if hauntings, especially legitimate ones, actually do give off a very noticeable geomagnetic field that can affect animals and birds around. Because you hear other stories of hauntings where birds are constantly flying into windows. They find dead insects on the lawn outside, or the most common one, especially when it comes to allegedly demonic hauntings, flies that are found inside the house, flies that seem to be just coming from nowhere. So a little bit of an anecdote and maybe a bit of a question to the host and the people who are listening. Do you think hauntings can generate like an electronic, like a geomagnetic vortex that can be detected, just like an earthquake?
I think so. I believe so.
Mm.
I mean, if you really can detect ghosts using electromagnetic field meters, if you have a room or a place that is full of spiritual activity, it would make sense that there is a vortex of very highly charged energy there,
Mm.
right? And that would
I mean,
affect how birds would react, things would malfunction, people would feel uneasy, electricity devices go on and off. I think that's very plausible.
it is completely plausible. When you mention geomagnetism and animals and insects, well, all manner of animals using it to navigate their surroundings, that has been proven by science. But whenever we go for investigations, or when I go on my walks, my hunter walks, we carry an EMF, and sometimes you do see the lights go from green to red, and it will go. And in that sense, we've used it to prove that there is that sort of energy in a room. So it's used in the animal world. We use it when we go out into certain places. I think it works in nature, and it works in the supernature.
From my understanding, so this calls, like when we talk about science and we talk about EMF, there are two theories, right? One is that spiritual entities and ghosts give off electromagnetic energy, and that can be detected via a tri-field meter or an EMF meter. The other
Yes.
theory is that what is happening is that the ambient EMF in the area, especially very weak fields, are interacting with the neurons in someone's brain that is then causing people to experience phenomenon that they interpret as paranormal. So there's two sides, and it's also interesting that you talk about and something to debunk, right? Like when you carry an EMF meter, if you move the EMF meter a lot, it will actually light up because that movement creates electromagnetic field. And
Or if
also,
you
yeah,
if you have a phone that's on you,
yeah,
that's not too far from it, that's going to cause it to jump as well.
And that's very correct. And also, if you go into nature, like also remember, we're talking about we're talking about an electromagnetic field, and living beings give off this as
Mhm.
well as natural seismic activity. And so you could be in the middle of somewhere. You could be detecting what's coming from the earth
Hmm.
or even solar radiation from what a physicist has told me. So
Yes.
it becomes then a very gray and murky area when we're
Mhm.
trying to work with these things. But you
Yeah.
know what? When you have paranormal activity happening, like things moving, and then you have EMF as well, then you can start maybe drawing some of that. That okay, maybe these two are freaking connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot of similarities. I was in Finland recently, and I had gone in search of the auroras, also known as the northern lights or the polar lights. And when you spoke about geomagnetism, that's actually what this phenomenon is.
Yeah.
It's got to do with solar energy and it interacting with the Earth's um, its own geomagnetism. But back in the day, and we're talking about when they were the Sami people or the native people of Finland, Norway, and of Russia, the Sami people, they thought they were dragons in the sky.
Ah,
Yes.
wow.
And they look like it because it streaks across the sky, and then some of the shapes do look like they look very serpentine in nature. So again, people in power at that time, and even shamans of that or medicine people of that time, used to say, "Oh, I can control the skies and make these things appear to induce fear in people that followed them." That sort of a thing. So how cute that this subject came about.
Yeah. And a little small anecdote,
Geomagnetism.
right? Not related to the geomagnetism thing, but I'm working at a facility right now in a very old building as part of this facility. Now it can be about say 25 degrees outside, but inside this building it feels like it's 15 or 16 degrees all the time. It is freezing in there, and there have been reported activity in this little place that I'm working at. So I have personally stood outside talking to a colleague of mine when we've heard a door slam somewhere in the house and no one's there. We are the only ones with the key. So there you go.
I was going to
Bit
go
creepy.
with wind, not
You know,
string.
very possibly, but all the doors in the rooms are shut.
Some sort of a draft somewhere.
Very possible. No, it is very possible. But again,
Yeah.
all the doors in the windows, because it's a
Yeah.
very secure facility, the windows are
Yeah.
shut, the doors are shut and locked before it's left. There's nothing physically in that place that can sound like a door's closing or shut. Sure,
Joe,
it might very
are
well
you
be.
sure you're the logical one on this show? Because it just sounds like you might be somewhere in the middle tonight.
I can't hear. Sorry, can you say that again?
I'm influencing everyone around me.
Hello.
I was going to say, if it's 25 degrees outside and you come inside and it feels like about 15, I mean, in the shade, the temperature does drop if you're not in direct sunlight outside. That, and if it's concrete as well, that's a very good. It can conduct heat away. Like when you touch concrete, sometimes it's cooler than the ambient air.
No, it's the ghost. It's a hunter.
Oh my gosh!
Whoa!
No!
The crowd goes wild.
It's
Actually,
obviously a
traitor.
spirit. It's obviously a spirit. If the temperature of the place has gone down, there's no way it drops 10 degrees. Like I don't understand.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
obviously a spirit of some kind. It's a ghost.
I'm going.
It must be the hunter.
It must be. It must be. Let's quit while we are ahead. While he just said those words, I'm going to accept that conclusion as
Traitor.
I've never seen Sonia so speechless in my life. She doesn't know to look left, doesn't know to look
Yeah,
right.
because
You know what this is for?
let
Your threatening.
let it be known that before everyone came on the show, he was giving me a lecture about sitting on the fence and making sure I knew my place and my slant. So giving me grief.
he quickly choked that the team Hantu sit before you do.
Yeah, exactly. You're not sitting
Actually,
there. It's my
there's one
seat.
story that I have. I mean, it's so coincidental that you brought up about signs, animals reacting to uh, electromagnetic
Magnetic.
field in
Yeah.
very odd behavior. Um, and we're talking about looking at the paranormal in a very scientific way. I was invited to be present for this person's confession, and it was actually introduced to me from another person who was into spiritual practices. He says, "Please talk to this person. I think she has a lot to confess about, and she needs to speak to someone who understands her." So I walked in and spoke to her, and she says, "I'm giving you the Cliff Notes version, guys. I'm trying to get the full confession for her." She was very uncomfortable speaking on record. She was very uncomfortable to have anything on record. So I just had to talk to her. She told me the story, and now I'm just relating to you as best as I can. She was born with a gift, or a gift of the third eye, and she was able to hear things and feel things. But more than just seeing shadows moving around, she has the ability to sense emotions, almost like a psychic going to a place and being able to sense emotions. And she's able to sense animals as well. She says sometimes she see roadkill. She could see the carcass on the floor on the road and feel an energy vortex at the area where the accident happened. Um, as she progressed along, she tried to ignore her powers. She doesn't believe in Hantu. That's also her words. I do not believe in the supernatural. I was brought up in an environment where we don't listen to ghost stories, we don't watch horror movies. I have no idea about any superstitions or the supernatural. But if you ask me, am I afraid of ghosts? Yes, I am. It's just a silly notion, but I have no idea what ghosts are and I don't believe they exist. And then when she comes to a certain point in life, she had an attachment that has like a voice telling her what to do and affecting her emotions. And when that happened, her life went downhill. Emotionally unstable, relationship, cannot hold on to relationship, health was affected, everything was affected. And if you guys have been listening to a lot of the confessions and the stories, especially when it's demonic activity, one of the signs is isolation. Especially when demonic entity will try to enter your body. If it's not a full-on possession yet, as an attachment, it tries to isolate you, keep you depressed, keep your energy down, so it can continue manipulating you. As she said, at that point, still disbelief, right? No idea. So she met this guy who's a spiritual practitioner, and he said, oh, sorry, before he met this guy, she met two other spiritual practitioners who says the same thing. There is a gray energy figure following you around, and we can't tell whether it's good or bad, but it's just there, and it seems to be affecting you negatively. It seems drawing energy from you. When two people said that, then she started to feel, okay, maybe there's some truth to it. Then she started looking for solutions, and she was told that she has a lot of angels around her, and it was her karmic energy that would be able to save her life. And all she needed to do was to believe. It sounds easy, right? Or just believe in spirits, believe in supernatural, and you'll be saved. But for a person who's entirely unable to have any rational understanding of the supernatural because it's just so fictional, believing was the toughest thing. But at the same time, for many years, she's had all these afflictions, all these things, and she's tried to tell herself, no, it's maybe science, it's maybe health, it's maybe I'm eating the wrong food, maybe I'm just stressed, maybe. And then birds came to find her. She'll find mice outside her house. She'll find cats outside her house. Like it's almost like Ace Ventura. Animals just gets drawn to her. And remember, I said she could sense the feelings of all these animals. She felt a collective energy from these animals trying to tell her, "Please believe in us. We want to help you." And then she decided, "I'm going to give that a try." And she believed. I don't know what that means, but or how the transformation was for her internally, but she said, I believe. And I said, what happened? He said, the minute I believe, I get this download of energy, and all the other animals came, birds and all that. The whole not Cinderella, was Snow White thing when she goes to the forest and everything come down. She said that's what happened to her. And immediately, all the negative energy just get washed away. Didn't need any external help. She says, my own karmic energy was good enough. I just had to believe. So why I brought this story up was it's so unique. animal spirits coming down to tell her animals energy. Is the first time I've ever heard it spoken in this way, and how a demon just gets washed away by positive energy and karmic karmic forces. And again, people say, oh, how do you believe her? Maybe it's bullshit. Maybe it's bullshit, but she spent time to talk to me, I spent time to talk to her, that she gets nothing out of it in that sense, not a single word of credit or fame for this. She just wanted to talk. So I'm just relaying the story to you guys.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's actually a really nice, a very nice story. And a lot of people do go into nature to forest bathe, to cleanse themselves of negative energy. That's what you guys said about me in Finland as well. Like between the two shows that I was on, you said there was a huge difference from the first and the second, and that was after I had gone for a nice long hike.
I
Even
think nature
today,
has
you're glowing.
incredible healing energy around nature.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's really good. Again, not discrediting what this woman's saying. It's a woman, right? Like you're
Yeah.
talking about, not discrediting what she's saying, and just offering just something else to think about.
Mm.
That depression can account for some of the symptoms that this person's been talking about, like the isolation, feeling very low and feeling very down. Obviously, that could be a mental health issue. But interestingly, when we look at the literature that's come out of the church and various other religious stories, right? People do report that possessions seem to occur together with symptoms that are very similar to depression. So people feel very low. There's discord in the family. Things aren't going right. They can't sleep very well. Things appear in their bodies. So I think it's very hard to tease out what's paranormal and what's perhaps natural. And in all the time that I've worked as a psychologist, I've seen people that have reported very similar symptoms to what you've talked about, and invariably, I would say 99% of them, you would go, wow, this is really this is some mental health issues. But then, sometimes you have to work with people's religious and spiritual upbringing. If they believe in spirits, they believe in the existence of God, then you try to work within that modality. And then there are certain times that I've gone, some of the stuff that they've talked about is really strange. They don't fit the diagnostic criteria for schizophrenia or, any of the dissociative disorders. Yeah, it just sometimes it's a little question mark.
I got a question
You
for you,
see?
Joe.
Okay, Joe, thank you for coming back. You finally sound logical and rational once again. Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
I was joking about the house though. It probably was a freaking draft. So
Joe, I just
but
wondered,
it's cold there. It's cold there.
would you get into a career trouble if you diagnose anything, like if you see this patient and in your hearts of hearts, this is a weird as nothing to do with science and it seems very odd, would you be able to nudge that person towards spiritual help, or you just have to put it down as something medical?
No, because you see, my role there is it's basically for so for private practice in my private practice world, I see people who have a range of mental health concerns, depression, anxiety, and so on and so forth, right?
Sorry.
I'm hearing a bit of
No more.
an echo. No more? Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah. So when I'm there, I'm usually getting them to talk, giving them strategies, and just helping them make sense of what's happening to them. Yep.
Okay.
If they do believe that something is generally spiritually wrong with them, right? I think it is well within my rights as well as therapeutically to say, if you believe that going and getting a blessing from a priest is really going to help your sense of well-being and mental health, 100%, I would suggest go and see a priest, go and see a religious leader. If you feel confession is going to help, okay, go make an appointment. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, supernaturalconfessions.com, right? And if someone's saying like, okay, look, I'm seeing shadows in my house, okay, and I believe the spirit of my dead auntie is coming, and I'm feeling very uncertain there. The conversations might steer towards, what's your spiritual and your religious orientation? They might say, I'm Christian. So I'll go, okay, we can speak about how stress is affecting your life. We can talk about the grief that's associated with your auntie that might have passed away. I can't deal with the spiritual stuff because that's not my role. I know it's a scientific role. However, I can put you in touch with a priest, or I would encourage you to go to your local parish and speak to someone. So it can be eclectic like that. But I can't go, you know what, hantu. I come to your house, I will catch in a bottle, then I'll go and take the sambawang, and then I'll put in the water and throw it. Tak
Sembawang.
boleh. Itu tak boleh. Huh? Sambawang lah. That's the first thing that comes to my mind because it's quite ulu, right?
I want to bring to
Bloody
your
hell.
attention a next confession. This one is called "Walk into the Sea" by Carissa, and it might challenge your belief about science. And this one, I think, might put you in Team Hantu camp. Alvin, take it away.
This next supernatural confession was sent in by Carissa. It's entitled Walked into the Sea. During one of our semestral breaks, my CCCA leader decided to organize an outing to Palawan Beach in Sentosa. About 20 of us attended, including me. I was close to one of my CCA friends. Let's call him Jay. Jay decided to walk along the beach and share some personal problems between his girlfriend and himself. He asked for my advice so he could get the girl's point of view. While walking, I felt the sea breeze was much cooler at the hanging bridge, so we decided to stay there to chit-chat. We talked for a while, and when I checked the time, it was almost 11 p.m. Some of the lights were turned off, but my CCA friends were still enjoying blasting loud music as they partied. We could hear them in the distance, and none of us wanted to return to the chalet to rest. As I talked to Jay, I noticed two couples sitting on the sand by the beach, talking and looking out into the sea. Then, there was a single person dressed in white, sitting by herself with her head down, resting in her arms. One of the couples was talking loudly, while the other were busy doing, let's just say, what normal pastoring couples do. Jay was consumed by a litany of problems. I listened to him rant and rave, his voice dripping with anger and frustration. While I was listening, I stared intently out at the beach before me, my eyes scanning the partial darkness as Jay carped relentlessly on about his troubles. Suddenly, the girl who was alone got up and started walking straight towards the lapping waters of the sea. Jay did not seem to notice anything amiss as he prattled on. While I tried to keep listening to his tale of woe, I was distracted by this lone girl. My mind was busily trying to work out what she would do next. Her feet crossed the soft white sand, and she eventually walked straight into the sea. At first, we thought she was going to swim, but she didn't stop. Her body slid into the sea, and she continued walking until she went under, and we could no longer see her head. Jay stopped talking. We both stared hard into the waters. We waited for a few minutes, and nothing happened, not even a ripple. Then we walked over to the two couples and asked if they had witnessed the same thing. They said they saw it too. The six of us waited for a few minutes to see if she would resurface, but it didn't happen. There was a short, uneasy pause, but we soon realized that she could not have possibly been human, as we noticed that right where she was seated, there were traces of her sitting, but there were no footsteps in the sand where she had walked before wading into the sea. The two couples left in a hurry as the girlfriends became near hysterical. Jay and I made our way back to the party, and we told our CCA friends about everything we saw. This left us all feeling on edge, so we decided to call it a day and return to the chalet. Till this very day, I'm still wondering what I really saw.
Beachside Hantu, woman walking.
Mm.
I've got my theory on this one.
We've heard so many stories where it involves the beach. In fact, we heard one about which beach was it? Where they saw there's this one particular beach right at the very end, close to a forest, and there's been many different sightings.
Changi?
And was it Changi? It was that one
Not serious,
story,
not
and then the
serious.
person he had met a woman who was eating the raw fish, and her eyes were black or
East
something.
Coast.
Do you remember?
Oh,
East Coast.
yo. Tak
That's
boleh
the
lah.
one.
That one was, I don't, was it ever put up on Confession? Or I think we heard it
We spoke
directly from
about
the person.
it. We heard it directly from a person, and then we spoke about it on show during one of
Yes. Cliff notes,
one of the
Right.
for those of you
PG
who have not heard
episodes.
that particular confession, just to run a real quick one. In East Coast, one of the car park area, I'm not sure where, forested area where people go fishing. This guy who told us a story, he went fishing, he caught a fish, and this old lady, like a nenek kebayan, nenek with
Kabai.
sarong, with the tudong, everything, said, Can I have a fish? They gave her a fish. She walked away. As they finished fishing and they left, as they walk out around the bush area, they saw the lady eating the fish, squatting down behind the bush eating the fish. Now, at this stage, it's still plausible that it's a crazy woman eating the raw fish. They walk up towards her, probably like want to offer her food or money or some form of help. She looked up, her eyes were totally black, and she had like serrated teeth going, They ran. That's the story. East Coast.
So how does it go again, Eugene?
Is it Halloween already?
Well, it's coming up soon.
Yeah.
Look. Just before we move on, right? Can I just say again, we have forgotten to kind of put out the link for if you guys want to support us, if you guys would like to buy us a coffee, please go to buymeacoffee.com/SC Friday Live. All your coffees will go a long way towards helping us, cover the costs of things like travel, of organizing stuff, because it starts piling up financially after a while. So any contributions you can make within the area will be really appreciated. So buy us a coffee. It'll be buymeacoffee.com/SC Friday Live. Sonia, I have not forgotten your chai latte with nutmeg and a hint of soy milk. So that's what Sonia's going to drink. I only drink black coffee with the tears of young children infused inside. That's how manly I am. But this story is actually a little bit like, I know it was creepy at first, but then I recall the story told by another prominent, ghost hunter in Singapore, where he spoke about a suicide case that he had actually witnessed, where he'd seen this person walk past him, take his shoes off, wade into the water, and not come back up. So I'm wondering straight up if what they've experienced was a person unfortunately taking their life.
That's actually very, very plausible.
But wouldn't the body be washed ashore or
Not necessarily.
Not quite
Nope.
immediately, because you have to understand that there are currents in the water that could have swept the body away from where he had walked in. So it would have been perhaps even days later before they found the body.
And remember, when someone runs out of air, there's very little buoyancy in the body, and the body will sink. It's only as decomposition sets in, when gases fill the body, that bodies tend to kind of rise up. And
Yes,
that
there
usually,
is
as Sonia said, after a while. So
Yes, because there is such a thing as a negative and a positive buoyancy. If you're a diver and you are positively buoyant, then you float. But in this case, and if somebody wants to drown, and it is it's done on purpose, walking in, it's not going to be an easy thing. They wouldn't want to be. No, easy to drown. That I don't know. I've never tried, but.
Please don't try.
But I am very drawn to water, and you boys know that. So, my take on this is, some people do go into the sea to wash their skin, get rid of certain skin diseases and stuff, because seawater is very good for that. Maybe this person, maybe not this person, but in general, people do walk into the water and then swim a little bit further down or a little bit further up, and you don't quite see them. I wonder if.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but I think in this particular confession, they did describe the entire area, and it was water going, no ripple, not swimming, no along the horizon, and they even checked with the lovers who were doing paktoring things, and everyone said the same thing.
This was at night, right? So visibility. What about visibility? How brightly lit is this place if they're going there to get up to paktor nonsense?
Nobody in their right mind will go swimming at night.
No, I've seen. In Sembawang, there are tons of
Hold on.
people that go swimming.
I think it's
Yeah.
the moment
Yeah.
you see people in the swimming in the sea, they may not be people at all. I've got a theory. You guys
Okay.
got your science cap on already, right? So I'm
Yeah.
thinking, when I see and hear things like that, of course I leave the rational thoughts and the what ifs and maybes to my co-host here. But where I really honestly stand with this particular story is that they could have seen an apparition of a girl who had taken her life there before. And every specific time or night or day in a year, the spirit will do the same thing. Get up, walk, disappear into the water. It just so happened that when that loop happened, these four that were there to see. And they said, remember, no footprints on the sand, no signs that anyone had walked there. So these are really clues to tell me that if she was out there swimming somewhere, anything rational thought, then how do you explain that there's no footprints on the sand? Not the ones that washed away by the water, the sea, but on the sand itself, no footprints. So
Have you been to the beach before, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the sand like on the beach?
Yes. So there actually is a theory for that. And if the sand that you're walking on is it's not very watery, because if it is actually very watery and you step on it, it's not going to leave a footprint, because the water just rises back up and then it covers it as if you never took a step. So it also depends on how what is that word I am looking for? So if it's very filled with water, it's not just sand.
Moist.
Not moist. Okay, never mind. You guys
Damp.
go. But I have seen instances where you take steps, and as the water rises, almost immediately after you lift your foot, it looks as if no one has stepped there.
Yeah, I get that. That's in the water area, but the non-water area?
Yeah, so that's why it depends on where the water is, where the sand is. And there is this one area where it is lots of sand, but enough water. It's permeated with water still. It's not a very
Waterlogged.
dry sand. No, I wasn't going to go with waterlogged either. But
Ernest Doe says quicksand.
Quicksand.
Never want quicksand.
Saravanan says dangerous area, violent death, and unsettled spirit might pull people in. There's a spirit in the water. This is local law for our overseas listeners. There's something called the Ti Sen Kui. In Chinese belief, when you die by drowning in the water, or by suicide in the water, or suicide by drowning in the water, your spirit don't get to go to the other side. You linger in the same spot you die in the water until you can find another soul to take your place. So the belief, again, especially during 7 months, grandmothers will say, don't go swimming at night, or don't go swimming at all. Or some even more specific, don't go swimming at Changi Beach, because the amount of souls there, the death rate is so high, all the spirits are in the water, they are trying to find another body to replace them.
I thought it was just because the water's so dirty, don't go in.
How about Sembawang? Sembawang? Don't go
Sembawang is
sorry.
worse because we're directly opposite
Hey,
Johor.
yo.
All their trash comes floating from across there.
Hey,
So,
Sorry, continue.
Sembawang Beach is where people would go there to exorcise spirits. So it's not people who die there, the spirits get stuck in the water. It's people who have spirits in and on them. Go to Sembawang, they will whip you 21 times, chase the spirit out, and the spirit goes into the water. Yeah.
But that's also where they throw the ashes of the dead for the Hindus, and you'll find a lot of the abandoned deities in that area. Sembawang is just a treasure trove of abandoned figurines and statues.
You guys did
And
a video on that a while back, hey?
Yes, you can find it on YouTube. It's under
Secrets of
Supernatural Confessions. Recon, the Recon team did that.
Look, very quickly, we spoke, initially my theory was it was suicide, so it's a very heavy topic. And I know this is a little bit unscripted, going off the script, guys, but if you're in Singapore and you're experiencing mental health issues, can we just reaffirm, go and see a mental health professional. If you're feeling like taking your own life, there are places that you can call. I'm speaking about Singapore and Australia because that's where the majority of the hosts are. In Singapore, you can call 1-800-221 4444, or in Australia you can call 131114. Please reach out. There are people who are caring for you. There will always be someone who will listen to what you have to say. So if you're experiencing this, please guys reach out, have a call.
Yeah, mental wellness is no joke, right? So if you need help, just even if you want someone to talk to, you don't feel like you just want to reach out to someone who don't know you, but at the same time listen to you, drop us a message. We'll try to direct this to somebody who can help.
So one of the comments on the Facebook chat, Sean Chen says, still a stigma in Singapore. And that is very true. There still is a stigma that you're mentally unstable, that you're crazy, And a lot of people don't come forward because they're afraid of being looked at that way.
Yeah. Also, if you like the story about what I mentioned just now with regards to spirits in the water, the Tisen Kwe and all that, you want to hear more. And actually, Jonathan have a entire theory, Jonathan Lim, about the yin and the yang of water. So do take note. We have that full story in our Walk with Hantu Changi. The link is on our supernaturalconfessions.com website. New dates will be coming up soon. It will be in December near Christmas. So fill up the form. Let us know you want to join us in December, and we'll be running a tour then. A walk, not a tour. Walk.
Nice.
Okay. Next up, we have Humming Ghosts by Ned, and this one is narrated by Allie. Something about ghosts and humming just sounds very, very spooky. Alvin, take it away.
This is a confession sent in by Nat, titled Humming Ghost. This happened to me when I was 18. I was laying in bed, trying to go to sleep. It was real quiet, when all of a sudden I heard this little girl humming. Mind you, I have no brothers or sisters. And she sounded like she was trying to hum Greensleeves, or the tune to What Child Is This? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I thought it was just my mind playing tricks with me because it was so quiet, but then the humming grew louder. The humming was from a little girl, but the hums were broken as if she was trying to remember a song, so she was trying her best. It definitely sounded like Greensleeves. My mind panicked, and the first thing that flew out of my mouth was, "No, no, no, this isn't happening. Nope, not tonight." I jumped out of bed still saying nope, and putting in a DVD movie to listen to so that I can drown out the little girl. I remember saying, "Nope, I feel sorry for you, but I can't help you. Leave me alone." After hurriedly putting in the movie, don't laugh, it was the Three Stooges, the old movies, something loud, silly, and I literally cranked the volume up to max and got in bed and let the sucker play all night, just like that. My heart was beating so fast, and I remember just praying the humming would go away. I went to sleep, and it eventually stopped. The next morning, I had to tell my mom. I told her everything. When she asked me what song the girl was trying to sing, I said, "Greensleeves," and tried to show her how she hummed it. So I began humming. After I stopped, the little girl began humming again, louder, showing exactly how she sung it. My mom's eyes widened, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up. After around 15 seconds, she stopped humming. I have never heard the girl again. It's been 7 years, and I hope never to hear her again. My family has had experiences of ghosts before, and I have had paranormal experiences as well, but this case was just terrifying because this ghost acknowledged me. I don't think it had anything to do with the house, since it was fairly new. I have heard that in our area there is a ghost of a girl that travels from home to home every so often.
I would love to play Greensleeves music for you on YouTube, but since we are streaming on YouTube, if I play that music, we will get hit with a copyright strike. So go Google this. I will just put the link right here for you guys to check it out. This is what the song sounds like. So go click on it and go and listen to it later on. I'll let Church on. Okay.
Nice.
So this one is a bit maybe not. Where are we on the Hantu meter for this one? Let us know in the comment section what you think. And also shout out to our Malaysian contingent, kicking, saying that the Malaysian fans and the audience is growing a lot. We have Allison says greetings from Malaysia. So just out of curiosity, guys, as we going through this dissecting of this confession, when you get a chance, let us know in the comment section, where are you guys from? Which country are you guys from? Or if this country is too big, which city are you from? Okay. Sonia, we're gonna go ahead on this one because there's a young kid involved. So I think of you.
Oh, because of children. I think that we always freak out a little bit more whenever it comes to children because, firstly, we always hear stories of children being a little bit more sensitive, just like animals. So I'm a little bit torn, actually, because I've had experiences in my own house with the kids. Like, they think they see me, but I wasn't there. So
Hey, don't play like that, lah, Lama.
I get a little bit affected whenever it comes to children. Joe, what do you think, Joe?
We could go down the old boring route of all the explanations coming from somewhere else. I probably just want to comment that I think that a ghost that hum they're just exceedingly creepier than a ghost that just walks past you. I feel like if you're a ghost and you're humming, you're out to scare the shit out of me.
Because it's just more, it's more than that one dimension. It becomes sight and sound as well, right?
You can imagine, right? Like, if a ghost was just singing, like, jingle bell, jingle bell, it just doesn't have the same thing. But if it goes cannot laugh. Yeah, if you're doing that, you're trying to scare the shit out of me, which means that you're not a good ghost, and I want to have nothing to do with it. And you know what? It features into this. I think I had an old fear of it. I'm unsure if I'm scared about it now, of child ghosts. Of all the types of ghosts out there, the ones that I am most uncomfortable with, like I get creeped out more, is with little ghosts and little girl ghosts. In a little boy ghost, I'll just kick him. I'll just kick him in the face. It doesn't bother me. But if I see a little girl in like a tattered dress and she's holding a doll with no head and she's doing no, and she's going, you have got to be shitting me. I don't play like that. That I don't play with.
So I think stories.
I rather the Pontiana.
They're always a little bit scarier whenever you hear about these stories when it involves more than one sense. Seeing them is one thing, hearing them is another. Have them touch you, or if you react in a more physical matter, it always ups that factor, that fear factor, that response from you is always going to be that much more heightened, right?
Yeah.
And then you add in the fact that it's a child, that multiplier effect just kicks right in.
Yeah. And Orange Freak makes a very good point, Sonia and Eugene. He says that they say demon mimic kids. And I think it has to do with the fact that when we think of children, we think of them as very innocent human beings, right?
Yes.
And when you put them, and when you see a kid like that, you are freaking messing with that innocence. And that messing with the innocence is just creepy as shit. I remember a TV series called Spooked, right? And they were talking about this lady who went to this old house where it's and it was near a railroad, and then she saw this apparition. And I'm kind of summarizing here, giving the cliff notes as Eugene says. She saw this child on the stairs, right? And she just got a really creepy feeling. And when this child smiled, she said that they were just shark-like teeth. Like just a little girl, and then the innocence, and then suddenly the destruction of the innocence, which is that kind of teeth.
Did she go?
Holy fuck, bar. No, that was a guy called Eugene during a Halloween special. If you do remember that. I still have the video, by the way.
No recollection whatsoever. I don't know. Have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe the word druncula might jog your memory.
Druncula, that's correct.
It's been a year.
It's been 1 year, man. Far out.
Yeah. But when, you said humming, do we have more information about the type of house or the type of area? Could somebody have been playing something that made it, that muffled it a little bit to make it sound like humming from outside?
Okay,
Are you
the part
saying
where I
house
wasn't
music?
clear is, did she dream of a girl humming, or did she hear a girl humming, and then the next day she met a real girl?
Mm.
Was it a dream or was it real?
Whoa, that's deep, man.
Hmm.
Am I a butterfly dreaming I'm a man, or am I a man dreaming I'm a butterfly?
You
As my
you
seafood
watched
say,
Bug's Life. What did your seafood
am
say?
I butterfly dream he man, or am I man dream he butterfly? You don't know because high level. High
Hey,
level.
Shifu!
You just have to say shit and then add high level at the
High
end.
level.
I tell you, coffee black. I like drink coffee black because very sweet. High level.
High level.
You just add in high level.
Shifu.
Trying to get away with all sorts.
Yeah. Joe, you are a little girl dreaming you're an apex predator.
That is
Oh,
possibly
wow.
very right. The shirt I'm gonna wear next week will probably make you think so. Yep.
Hey, would you be possible to get Shifu for confession?
Mm.
Look, so I no longer practice under my shifu in Perth. However, so I don't think believes in the existence of the paranormal. The Taoist inner alchemy that he works with is very body based, and it doesn't really have to do with the existence of spirits. So when I say he's a Taoist in the very strictest form of the word. He follows the Tao Te Ching. That's the formula that he does. There's a lot of esoteric aspects of it.
Yeah.
But nothing to do with spirits and elements. It's not the Buddhist kind of Taoism that you see prevalent in Singapore and Malaysia. It's a completely different one. It's not even like the Moshan that you see from China. It's quite different.
I guess it's a very high level.
It's very high level. No ghost, no spirit. You ghost, you spirit. You demon. No ghost.
Well, that brings us to the next confession tonight. This one, I vaguely think we had done this before. I think Joe also feels we have done this before, but it could be a mandala effect. You guys let us know if we have covered this story, because I sure as hell swear that I have heard this somewhere.
Let's see, because a lot of our stories tend to sound or can tend to sound the same, right? Or sometimes we talk about it, but we don't play the confession.
Yeah.
And
Family outing
so
by
many ghost
Anonymous.
stories as well.
Yeah. This one is narrated by Lijia. Okay, Elvin, take it away. The Bangla effect. Mandala effect.
Family outing by Anonymous. A few years back, after my grandma passed away, we organized a family outing with our extended family. All of my cousins, uncles, and aunties went. We went to a hotel in KL to stay the night, and we checked in the morning. My cousins and I decided to stay in a room together with a connecting door to his parents' room. We also asked for an extra bed to be sent to the room as there were only 2 beds there. We went out shopping from morning until late at night. My younger cousin A and his mom went back to the hotel first. We met up in his parents' room, but later that night, A refused to sleep together with us in our room. Throughout the entire day, A's behavior also seemed a little weird and jumpy. The rest of us returned to our room and we started playing a game of Taiti. After a few rounds, B started throwing 2 cards of the same, C skipped, I also skipped, and then we heard another skip. So we thought all of us said skip. B asked, "Confirm all skip ah?" Then D replied, No, I'm not going to skip, I got cards to throw." Then the rest of us got stunned because we clearly heard 3 people saying skip, which were myself, C, and another person. D replied, "Yeah, I also heard 3 skips, but it's not me, I got cards to discard." We quickly ended that game and went to bed. The next day, my auntie woke us up. When we were about to go out, all of our shoes were not at their original places. After we spent some time searching, we found our shoes all wedged deep down under our beds. Cousin D's shoes were directly all the way under his bed because he was using the extra bed and there's a big gap underneath. Cousin B and I had to put in some extra effort to get the shoes out, but none of us said anything. We just glanced at each other and kept silent. We left the room and went to have some breakfast. On the way there, we were telling one another about what happened in our room and also informing our parents. Cousin A confessed that when he went back to the hotel earlier with his mom, he was in his parents' room and he saw through the connecting door a lady inside our room floating past. He kept quiet and kept it to himself, thinking that it could be some blurry vision in the morning. Then, while we were having breakfast, Cousin D had a bad tummy ache and went back to our room. Going back to the room, finishing up his business and coming back definitely requires some time. But it seems that in just a couple of minutes, we saw Cousin D rushing back. Gasping for air, he sat down and told us, while he was using the toilet, the light above him suddenly became darker, as if something was slowly approaching and covering it up. He panicked and rushed out and came back to tell us what happened.
Leo, this one.
Floating.
Spooky. Yeah. Oh, hotel stories like that, especially when you're shitting and then something is coming towards you. Speak about vulnerable position.
Okay, this is the problem, all right? So I'm gonna call up both Sonia and Eugene on this, right? You know, Sonia and Eugene are the two friends that you have in school, right? Where you're trying to study, and then they're talking. You can't hear the thing, and then like this Joe bugger already has very poor concentration skills. So they both probably pakat like, hey, we'll talk about lunch, and we talk about the game, we talk about this, surely this bugger. Then they talk, then I fail the exam.
Then we both go straight A's.
Yeah, then both the straight A's, and then when the paper comes, it's like D. They both like, see lah, teacher, this Joel is stupid lah. They can't. Why he's in his class? He study all the time, never pass. But they're their fault. I don't know what the fuck happened in the story.
Okay, so Cliff Notes version of what the fuck happened in this story. They went to a hotel to stay, and there was really something wrong with their entire room, right? The shoes that they put there, next day just went missing, and they were looking around for the shoes. Turns out the shoes were under the bed.
Stolen and thrown away by the maid.
And when the room was really feeling very, very weird, and a weird vibe around it, and
air conditioning turned on.
And when they got back to the room, they saw this woman flying across.
Projector.
And when he needed to take a shit, this is by daytime, there's a bit of light on. He saw like the thing is getting dimmer. So when he looked up, he saw there was something there above on the ceiling.
Electricity going off.
And there we have it. We have done the dissection for you guys. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed Supernatural Confessions. Good night.
Condensed version.
Okay. Okay, if you ask, I'll go first for this one, right?
Yeah.
I'm giving Joe time to think, huh? So let me share with you an anecdote about hotel, because this particular story reminded me of my own hotel story. So some of you may have heard this a long time ago, but it's been a long while since I told you the story. I'm just going to cover this because this particular incident is very close to this confession. I was in where was I? Maldives. This was during the days when I was flying with SQ Singapore Airlines. So it's probably in 2006, 2005. Flew there. I had 3 days, 2 nights, and new guy. I was always given the hotel room that nobody wants. So this is what SQ won't tell you. But if you're the new guy, usually you get the haunted room. Walk down, turn to my left, off the path, because Maldives is a resort place. It's not like a hotel. So everybody stays in a resort alone, and each resort is not near each other. Walk towards my room. You know when you walk and then suddenly you feel like there's a spider web across your face?
Yeah.
Get that feeling? So people say, yeah, it's spider web and all, but there were no trees around. And if you believe in superstitions and folklore, that spider web that you walk through, the old people believe is you walk through a ghost, or you walk through into another place where it's a sign that it's haunted. It's not a good sign. Walk to my door, open the door. Chalet keys is big chunky wooden plaque with the number, and then there's a key. You know this old school one? The key is it's not a key card.
Yeah.
It's a key chain, the key tag, but the tag is made of like a wood piece, and there's the number.
You gotta put in, right?
Yes, then you have to.
Yeah.
That goes on. Big room, bed, pointy roof with its own beams, wall to wall mirror. And because it's the beachside resort, the mirrors have stains. And I hate to sleep in front of mirrors. And when you see stains on mirrors and you sleep in front of it, your mind plays tricks on you. Like you can see faces within the mirror. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like old mirror, you have those stains inside the mirror. Yeah, so I dislike it. The bed is combined together, so it's queen size, but it's 2 single bed. So you cannot sleep in the center, you sleep on one side or the other. Anyway, I choose one side, and I made the mistake of not putting my luggage on the bed. Remember what I always give you advice? I always say, if you're sleeping on one side of the bed, the other bed, don't leave it empty, put something there. Back then, I did not know about this. I went to shower, okay, total darkness, right? There's only the light and there's a small window, but it's outside, it's all dark. So I was showering. Now the shower, the to turn it on, it's a lever where you have to move it like a right. So shower, wow, touch myself, soap, you know, and then total darkness. Because if your eyes closed, you can still see light. But I see darkness. I have shit, right? Then I heard a and the water stopped.
Yeah. So you heard like the creaking sound of the holy. Could you have banged it?
Nah, so I was standing with my back to that lever, right? But because of the angle of where the water is coming out from, you don't stand too close to the lever. You're staying quite far because the jet is coming down this way. And then total darkness, shampoo on the head, butt naked, water stop. Go around. And at this point in time, I'm thinking there's so many things standing around me already, right? So I felt for the shower thing, turn it on again. So I had to make an effort to turn it on. Water comes down quickly, like, just make sure that there's no shampoo in my eyes. I couldn't see anything in front of me at all. Total darkness. But you agak roughly know where the door is. Agak, right? So I touched the wall and I inched my way down, hoping that as I'm inching my way down, please don't let me touch something slimy or feel a figure there or something. Right? And I inch my way up, open the toilet door. Right? And I know I have to walk past a damn mirror. Now, mirror and me, I always feel that if I'm not looking in the mirror is still turning around to look at me. You guys get that?
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but when I look away from the mirror, I always feel that my image is just going to turn around and look at me while I'm looking away.
Late night already, bro. Don't like that, alamak.
So I have to feel my way, touching the mirror, feeling my way to the door because I was trying all the buttons, it couldn't work. And I stepped on the key card, the key that was with the keychain.
Supposed to have already been in.
Yes. I picked it up. I felt the wall. I had to really stuff it in because it's long. It's this long.
Yeah.
It's not like a wind blow. It's only like, then it just falls out. It's light goes on. Okay. So I told myself, there's already a hantu here in this room. I know you are here. I'm just going to stay one night. Please don't disturb me. I just want to sleep. Okay. So without going back to the toilet, I just take a towel. I just towel myself down, change, sleep. While I was sleeping, I had a dream that there was a large beast-like creature standing on the rafter looking down at me. And it was talking to me. I cannot remember. I can't remember. hear the words. I know it's trying to talk to me. It comes out something gibberish, and then it got very close to my ear. In my mind, in my dream or the dream state, it came very close to my ear. And then I woke up. I said, "What?" And just as I woke up to say "what," right, I noticed on the other side of the bed, just two single bed to join one queen. The bed sheet moved. Shh.
You saw it.
Yeah. Shh. Fuck me. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm done sitting in this room. I am done. I went to my bag. I took out my only book that I can find. This was, I think, by Connelly something. It was a ghost story book. It was a horror book. Not the best time for that kind of books. Open the door. I sat outside on the beach chair. It means right outside there's a balcony area, right? And staring into darkness. In darkness, right? Because there's nothing, no light. Darkness.
Yeah, because if you're in a water villa at the very edge, right, then you look out towards the water.
And then sitting there, means the only light came from my room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I heard a kang. The key card fell out again. Darkness inside, darkness outside. I just sat there waiting to die. Just take me. Take me. Yeah. So that was my incident. So I can imagine the fear of these people, the Confessor, Anonymous, being in a hotel room, seeing things, feeling things moving around, being in a toilet, being vulnerable, and still having to stay there one night. Yeah. That's why I said when I heard that confession, it really brought me back to Maldives.
Yeah, because those old key card, it's not even a key card, it's basically a switch at the bottom of the holder, and the wooden keychain hits that thing and you have to pull it out.
Yeah.
It doesn't fall out, right? There's no ejection button. It just wow, that is amazing. Okay, look, I'm wondering. Sorry, go ahead, Sonia.
It's okay, you go first.
I was we may be heading down the same path. So
Usually.
Maldives. Yeah, Maldives. Do they have monkeys there?
In a room?
No, in the Maldives.
Yes, but these are water villas out at sea because there are a whole bunch of different atolls, and then the resorts are built to stand alone out at sea. So there are individual water villas that are joined by raised elevated paths.
Okay,
so
but is it connected to the land?
No, you'd have to fly out onto these resorts.
Right. Because I was going to go the monkey thing, right? If there's if it's on the beach and it goes into the water, monkey goes in there and goes, oh, that's Eugene there. I'm going to fuck with him. So he goes in there and just takes it out, pulls the thing down. It's as you can see, the more I'm saying it, and the more I'm hearing how ridiculous it sounds, right? It just sounds ridiculous.
But it's okay. Keep going.
No, I don't think I'm going to shut the fuck up because it's there. Nah, I've got nothing.
Jujube Junmei says on Malay, no lah, don't have monkeys.
They have monkeys, okay.
Hotel Karumba or Bandos? I'm sorry, Mark, I really can't remember. That was a very, very long time ago.
Yeah, there are quite a few operators out there. I thought when you were relaying that story about that piece of wood that was part of the key, as you slot it in, some of them can be quite tight because of that little spring switch that they have on the inside where you have to force it in to activate all the lights. It's a connection. Now, some of them can be so tight that if you don't push it in all the way, it can sort of bounce back and force that key card. I'm using the word card here, but I've seen that happen with key cards, the cards itself. But something as big, hard. Okay.
Go on, Sonia.
Yeah, just yeah. I would stop digging that hole, Sonia.
You guys know what I'm trying to say. Stop making me blush.
Okay, key
but
card.
Anyway, so I've seen it happen with key cards. I'm not sure if the same could possibly happen with your type of key back in those days. But to me, it actually is a possibility that it was ejected out.
Ejected out. I see the I like to know the theories from you guys. Comment section, please. Audience, you guys have heard the story. You heard both our stories, the Confessor and mine. I think not so much to dissect it because it's quite out there, right? It's very hard to say string or it's really out
It's
there.
hard.
I like to know your theories or stuff that you think you're gonna put inside, or perhaps even if you have your own anecdote, some stories that you have heard before, similar in nature, or in the place of Malay, or where you think this hotel might. Please drop it in the comment section. We'll love to read it.
Sean Chen says something really interesting. He goes, "There is still the mysterious room at Rasa Sentosa. Do you guys know anything about that?"
I've heard somebody that works for the hotel told me the story because we went for some other function there and mentioned this room. So the thing about hotels, and I travel quite a bit, and every time I go to a room, you can generally have a good sense when you enter. There was this particular one, I think it was my first trip to Finland, where as I was walking down this dark corridor, and it was an older part of the hotel, which was set aside for conservation. So it's so old that you can't change a lot in these kinds of places. There's this big, huge foreboding feeling. And as I came to the room at the very end of the corridor, that was already, I wasn't going to do that. And when I entered, it was this unnerving, big, huge pressure. So I turned right around, went down and said, I'm not taking that room, give me something else. And, the hotel was running full. They said, well, that's the only room we have with a double bed. I said, never mind, single beds will do. I want out. And then they gave me a room in the newer wing. And apparently the room that I received was the last in the old wing. So I'm just wondering, how sometimes they don't give out the haunted room, but in this case, they don't have a choice because it's the last room. So did I get that? I don't know. But every time I enter a room, I do state my intention that I'm only there to stay the night or a couple of nights. I'm not there to change or disturb anything. And it's just one of those practices because, hotel rooms.
Yeah. When I go into a room, I knock on the door and say, Apex Predator is here. You all need to fuck off. That's how I roll.
So you're coming here next Friday, right? JDC. So we can put you in a haunted location and let's have the film crew follow you and see how you do it.
I tired, bro. Very long flight. Then I got to travel from Perth to Singapore to
I was just thinking isolation.
Yeah. It's getting late, guys. It's getting late. We better wrap this up.
Speaking of Rasa Sentosa, guys, I've got something to tell you. This is a story that came right out of a high-ranking person who's a vendor, a long-time vendor of Rasa Sentosa. And he says, based on his scope of job, I'm trying to be very careful here not to reveal his identity. Because of his scope of work, he has to go into the rooms and he has to make sure that the product that he's selling to the hotel is reach up to a certain quality. So he does random checks. So there's this one room that he said he's going to go in and he wants to check. Then because they are given a room list, right? And the girl says, "Oh, you cannot go in." I said, "Why? The room is always locked." She says, "Yeah, but I know I provided the upgrades for the room, so I'm going to see and make sure that whatever that I promised you is there." They said, "Oh, don't worry, this room have not been upgraded." Again, he says, "Why?" It says that room has always been locked and passed down from generation to generation. No one gets to stay in there, or no one needs to move in there. The room must be in the same state as it was from that time. So he was very, very baffled. He says, why would a hotel deliberately not upgrade one room and keep it perpetually locked? So anyone know about that? Anyone work in that Rasa Sentosa area that can confirm there's a room like that?
Yeah, I heard the same.
It's in the hotel itself, right?
In the hotel, yeah.
That story has been circulating for such a long time, though. Any updates on it?
No. I mean, I spoke to him only, I think, early this year or late last year.
That means still.
Yeah, and because he's working there, or he's a vendor there, so this is something that he confirmed.
if if Rasa Sentosa hears this, or anyone who works in any management or supervisory capacity at the hotel hears this, look, if you want to, we will get Kim to stay alone in that room. I volunteer Kim as tribute. He will be able to do that, and he will provide a report to you the next morning as to what goes on in that room. So thank you very much.
Offering
Joachim
him
Den.
up.
Yeah, thank you. We will we will provide Supernatural Confessions will provide that service for Rasa Sentosa. So contact us if you can.
So this is what happens when you're not around, no? You were kinda volunteer as tribute for all these haunted things.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we say goodbye, I just want to quickly tell you guys what's coming up. If you just joined us, 21st of October. Please keep that date free. I've just pinned the URL onto our Facebook as well as YouTube comment section. If you need more information, you can also go to our Facebook page, Supernatural Confessions, or our website, supernaturalconfessions.com. What's happening on the 21st? It's our very first live show. It's just not good enough to be live like this. We're going to be live in front of live audience, limited capacity, of course. We booked a relatively small space, and I think we can fit about 30 comfortably. So if you really want to see us, you want to meet up the community, you've been watching the show, and hey, you know what? It'd be really fun to come down and run now, shout and scream, and instead of just commenting, you can just literally shout, and we'll react with you and to you. There will be drinks. Nocturnoir is our drink sponsor for the day, and if you sign up, each ticket is $35. In case some of you guys are wondering, hey, why I meet up? We must pay. Hello, I have to pay rental lah. We're not making anything from this, okay? We're paying rental. The beer money, the coffee money that you got us, that you give us, we're gonna use some of that to, buy beer for ourselves. We're gonna buy drinks. We have Carlos Cole, the guy who always goes raw, and Shimin working the bartender. They are going to be bartending for the day.
Yes.
Silver Star.
Oh, Shimin.
Yes. Silver Star's the band who wrote and performed the music. Miss B, don't disturb me. They'll be performing that song live, full band, 5 Ps. We have all your other hosts from Ghost Mortem, Jonathan Lim, but right before he gets busy with Chestnuts. Tickets are on sale right now. He'll be making his presence there as well. His presence felt and known on the 21st of October. You have your duo from On the Fringe, Blur Bill and Matt Verkek, who will be coming down for the days as well as the 4 hosts from Kuching, from Perth, all meeting up in Singapore, and that girl from Sembawang as well. All of us will be there, meeting you, shaking hands, drinking with you. Doors open at 5:30. Band starts playing at 7. Live show happens at 7:30 to 9:30, depends. I mean, we book the place up to 10. So our finale show usually can just extend one, right? Because there's
never ends on time.
Never ends on time. Finale show.
Never.
So if you can't make it down, from the time we start streaming live and the band start playing, you can join us on YouTube and Facebook. Elvin will be there along with Shane from Music Elements, who will be running ops. So it'll be really cool. We have 2-3 cameras. So although we are there, 4 of us, we're not just going to see 4 of us in one small screen. We got cameras that's going to punch in and punch out who's ever talking. So I'm really looking forward to the 21st. The link is right there. So please do sign up. Tickets are going at $35 with 1 free drink. As I said, the money is just going to pay rental. We really wish we could turn this into a huge money-making business, but that's not the intention right now. And definitely, this is for the community. So we want to see you come join us. $35 per ticket. It's 4 hours worth of show with 1 free drink. I think it's damn worth it lah. Don't be cheapskate lah. Okay, 28th, we will be in Sarawak. Thank you to Sarawak government to invite us to the Walk Festival. So we'll be having
exciting.
What will we be having there, Sonia? Tell us.
We're going to go on a couple of very exciting events during that time. There is a night walk. There is a little bit of a hike plus cave experience. Lots of stories to accompany all of these adventures. Can I call them adventures? Scary adventures.
Yeah, scary adventures.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, of course, culminate with our live show. and that's also still going to take place on Friday. But it's we have some local storytellers as well, and there was something about a ritual, wasn't there?
A ritual.
I thought we were offering Joe up. No.
Ah, yes.
I'm going to be with the cars, looking after everyone's purses, their jackets, their gear. I will make sure that I provide that service. But you know what? On a serious note, at least in 2 of those events, right, the place that we will be in is also reputed to be haunted.
Yes. So it's all with that slant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay, so we've come to almost the end of the show. We got 1 minute left. We can say goodbye. I'm keeping us a little bit longer to say goodbye because I'm quite sure she forgot what to say.
No.
Okay.
You want me to say it now or what? Who's going first?
There's always
Usually
a
Joe
Hantu explanation. No. Right. Look, before we kind of head off, I want to thank the kind fans and community people who have bought us a coffee tonight. So I would like to reach out to Reina, someone, and Stardust Leon for buying coffees for us. So thank you very much. There's still time to buy us a coffee, and you can buy us a coffee really anytime with that link. So it's just not live when the show is live. Yeah, it's live all the time. So if you'd like to contribute something, you can buy us a coffee anytime, and the link is buymeacoffee.com/SC Friday Live. But all things said, my name is Joe, and I always say there are more questions than there are answers, and I look forward to seeing all of you, or as many as you, Friday night in 1 week's time. Thanks, guys.
Great. I'm Sonia, and I usually have a super rational explanation for most things. I actually wrote it down. That's why I didn't forget. But yes, I'm so excited to be able to see everybody next week, the following week after. Is it too late for people to sign up for what?
No, it might be a little bit late, but if you can sign up for what now, still can. We're trying to get them hotel rooms. Yeah, it's on our website, supernaturalconfessions.com.
Yes.
The first tab, please sign up for what. We would love to see you there. If you can
Yes,
make it
if this
3
is the
days.
first time you're hearing about it, go to the Facebook page, read up on it. But come, it's going to be exciting to be overseas together.
Also, the tickets are subsidized by the Wat government. It's only $380 for 3 days, 2 nights. All the activities included, and a lot of the meals, pretty much almost all the meals are being settled.
And Kim's dancing.
Yeah, I'll make him dance.
In his traditionals.
Yes, you get to see Kim in a traditional diet costume, and you might, if you're lucky, see a bit of ass cheek.
Guys, I got a new goodbye message and a new tagline. You want to hear it?
Oh, okay. Hit us with it.
Let me know if you like this one. I figured the "You're Not Alone" is a bit passé. I got this one. Between magic and science is your reality, built on a narrative based on what you choose to believe.
High level.
High level. Very deep, very deep.
High level.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you guys next Friday. If you want to throw panties at JDC, Kim, they're arriving on.
Or underwear. It's okay. I don't discriminate.
9 something for Kim, 11 something for JDC. I don't know whether we're going to be having supper or not. It's quite late. But if you're around the area and you want to join us, please feel free. We love to see you and hang out with you. We are really friendly people. Okay. Until next week. Good night, everybody. Go to our YouTube right now. Tonight's feature, Zubin Part 2, accidentally bringing back Hantu to his own office. Good night.
Bringing Hantu back. Ciao.
What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.